Hey. Coming at you today, Broken Path Shaman, known as Trey. Not a poet, and I know it. Here to do some meditation. I swear it's getting later and later every day. Just struggling with this back pain, whatever pain, just lower body aches and pains. So makes it a little bit slower to get on to my space and do this, but I know it's worth it, so that's why I do it. I found I found some playlist. Not sorry, I gotta stop that. You got to see that. I had some lunch in my teeth. I found a playlist that I want to share with you, and it is I gotta stop saying sorry. It is from Reclaiming the Collective, I want to say. But these are called chants, our favorite non-reclaiming chants. Trying to tap into some pagan music in the background. I mean, any music is great, or not, no music is great. But for this, it seems just kind of appropriate to have some music. Hey, everybody else does it, I guess. And that's what I'm framing it on, right? So I'm here to meditate with you. I want to share some space with you and also just watch the divine awaken in you. So, here to do what we do for ourselves and bring intent. Yeah, bring intent to the space. So here we go. First time listening to this thing, so I don't know how it's going to sound. I assume it's going to be all right.
Holy, well and sacred.
One thing to address, though, because there's this cultural thing with pagan and stuff, right? So I definitely consider myself a pagan. Once I ran into it in college, I was like, oh yeah, this is totally it. A friend of mine, Tom Gilbert, he was totally a pagan in high school, one of my best friends in high school. And he got me into the thoughts and what it was about being a pagan, but he wasn't there to teach. He wasn't some kind of minister or something in that respect. So I picked up that little bit in high school, but then when I went to college in Colorado, ran into pagan society over at CSU and just fell in love. So yeah, it's been a passion since my 20s. Not a passion, whatever. It just is. It just called to me and made sense. But the thing that I want to talk about is the fact that obviously I'm Black, or I'm not white, I'm not Caucasian. My roots are definitely African American. We come from western part of Africa. I'm horrible with geography, but I know a bit of my family history. And we come from other sources. We're part Creole, so we got some Canadian Arcadia mixed in there, coming from Louisiana, some French influence. So there's a lot of a lot of cultures mixed into my DNA and our family's DNA. And so very little of it. I mean, we got some. We're definitely what people call mixed. We definitely have more Caucasian genes too. So we have a good mix of Caucasian genes and a good mix of nice African American genes. And all that comes together. And so when you deal with pagan stuff, what happens is a lot of it seems to come from Europe, or it comes from traditions that probably aren't like Egyptian or dark folk, like maybe some Muslim pagan stuff before their prophets and stuff came around and disciples. So just to say, nature's been around longer than any of the religions, and I don't have to dig into necessarily a European version of paganism. It could be any version. So for me, one of my things I'm doing is definitely looking for music that resonates with me. So in the future, I could see my background music turning more into like drums. I definitely identify with beats, drums, that kind of stuff. I love Dave Matthews, but I'm trying to get more pagan. Or not pagan, just more like natural sounds. And Dave, he's jam band, so he doesn't really fit. But check him out if you get a chance. All right, so let's get into this. I'll start the music again. It's from the Brigade or something like that. The first song is Beverly Frederick, Holy Well and Sacred Flame. I'm not going to read the rest of these. But if you have questions, go ahead and put it in the chat. I'll try and answer at the end. But it's time to get into the meditation portion of this. Enough chatting, because I can talk forever. And we can save that for a better place and time. Now I'm putting a timer just to kind of keep things in check for myself. And we're going to do one thing on this timer. Sometimes technology can be way more of a hindrance than it is a help. And if you find that happening in your practice, just stop. Technology is not worth getting all discombobulated and losing your focus. That's why I don't like to just do like music or just have a certain setup. All right, so coming into our space. Namaste. I kind of start off on my knees in a prayer position. That's just me. None of this should hurt.
I step into the flow and then I let go. I open my heart, my mind and my soul. I step into the flow and then I let go. I open my heart, my mind and my soul. Oh, I surrender. Oh, I surrender. Oh, I surrender. I open my heart, my mind and my soul. Open my heart, step into the flow. I step into the flow and then I let go. I open my heart, my mind and my soul. I step into the flow and then I let go. I open my heart, my mind and my soul. Oh, I surrender. Oh, I surrender. Oh, I surrender. I open my heart, my mind and my soul. Open my heart, step into the flow.
Reminded me of an idea today: collective body, the collective mind. Kind of a paradigm shift.
We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle, you hear us cry. Now Lord is calling, spirits of every sky. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle, flowing higher, open fire. We are a circle within a circle and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within our tears. Their love is yonder, a living water. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle. Take our fears, take our pain, take the darkness and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are the closest we dream of worlds to mark the sacred space where we come face to face. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending.
The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. Hey, Anna, oh, Anna, hey, Anna. Hey, Anna, oh, Anna, hey, Anna. Her sacred ground we walk upon, with every step we take, her sacred ground we walk upon, with every step we take. Hey, Anna, oh, Anna, hey, Anna. Hey, Anna, oh, Anna, hey, Anna. The earth is our mother, she will take care of us. The earth is our mother, she will take care of us. Hey, Anna, oh, Anna, hey, Anna. Hey, Anna, oh, Anna, hey, Anna. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. Hey, Anna, oh, Anna, hey, Anna. Hey, Anna, oh, Anna, hey, Anna. Her sacred ground we walk upon, with every step we take, her sacred ground we walk upon, with every step we take. Hey,
The earth is our mother, she will take care of us. The earth is our mother, she will take care of us. Hey, Anna, oh, Anna, hey, Anna. Hey, Anna, oh, Anna, hey, Anna. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. Hey, Anna, oh, Anna, hey, Anna. Hey, Anna, oh, Anna, hey, Anna. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. Hey, Anna, oh, Anna, hey, Anna. Hey, Anna, oh, Anna, hey, Anna. Her sacred ground we walk upon, with every step we take. Her sacred ground we walk upon, with every step we take. Hey, Anna, oh, Anna,
So be careful. I've been on my feet folded up for a little bit, so kind of remember blood needs to go back into those feet, those lower parts of the body.
She will take care of us. Hey, Anna, oh, Anna, hey, Anna. Hey, Anna, oh, Anna, hey, Anna. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. Hey, Anna, oh, Anna, hey, Anna. Hey, Anna, oh, Anna, hey, Anna. Her sacred ground we walk upon, with every step we take. Her sacred ground we walk upon, with every step we take.
All right, so second part, I like to kind of sit on my sit on my hiney on my tush, but have my feet together in kind of a butterfly. So I like to kind of show people what I'm talking about. That it would be like that, and then I just kind of closest thing I can think of calling it is a bind. Let me pause this for a moment. Oh, and playlist has some nudity. Didn't realize that. You can check it out on my YouTube. I don't think it's private. Not that that's why you'd want to. It just shocked me, so I figured you might want to see why I was shocked. Sorry, all that to say. I end up kind of breaking this down into 3 different parts. And so this is kind of the second pose that I take, and I get myself into what I can best describe as kind of a bind. So I do this butterfly position with my feet, and the whole goal is to inhale, like an active inhale, and then a relaxing yin exhale. And while inhaling, really just trying to get that spine lengthened and fill the wind bag, fill the lungs. So let's go back to that those chants. Really want those shoulders to come down.
blood. Air my breath and fire my spirit. Earth my body, water my blood. Air my breath and fire my spirit. Earth my body, water my blood. Air my breath and fire my spirit. Earth my body, water my blood. Air my breath and fire my spirit. Earth my body, water my blood. Air my breath and fire my spirit. Earth my body, water my blood. Air my breath and fire my spirit. Earth my body, water my blood. Air my breath and fire my spirit. Earth my body, water my blood. Air my breath and fire my spirit. Earth my body, water my blood. Air my breath and fire my spirit. Earth my body, water my blood. Air my breath and fire my spirit. Earth my body, water my blood. Air my breath and fire my spirit. Earth my body, water my blood. Air my breath and fire my spirit. Earth my body, water my blood. Air my breath and fire my spirit. Earth my body, water my blood. Air my breath and fire my spirit. Earth my body, water my blood. Air my breath and fire my spirit. Earth my body, water
I do have to say, beware putting your right hand on the bottom of your left foot. Palm to pat, palm to foot. That was an interesting little juice. Oh, with heels touching. Think of the bottom of the feet like batteries, I guess. Not really, but there's energy flowing through those batteries. Just like a rechargeable battery, nothing happens until you connect the positive and the negative. All that potential energy is stored until you connect it in the right socket, plug.
The river, she is flowing, flowing and flowing. The river, she is flowing down to the sea. Mother, carry me, your child, I will always be. Mother, carry me down to the sea. The river, she is flowing, flowing and flowing. The river, she is flowing down to the sea. Mother, carry me, your child, I will always be. Mother, carry me down to the sea. The river, she is flowing, flowing and flowing. The river, she is flowing down to the sea. Mother, carry me, your child, I will always be. Mother, carry me down to the sea.
All right, so shaman's trick. See how balanced you are. Pick a time. Forget about time or stop paying attention to clocks. And then see if you are in unison with that time. So for me, I've been roughly setting about 10-minute increments on this. Yesterday, stopped about 20 seconds before 10 minutes. Today, stopped about 20 seconds before 10 minutes. Interesting. Make of it what you will. But for me, it's showing a level of balance. So third posture, I'm gonna stand up. You do what you want. Hiccups. You do what you want, but I'm gonna stand up. And I don't have a great camera, so you won't see me when I stand up, or at least all of me or whatever. But eventually, I'm gonna budget for that and get a camera and set the space up. So I say that every day. One day you'll get sick of me saying it, and we'll make this happen. Oh, trying to find my ground. Got a lot of pain, so just trying to ground through the pain, accept the pain that I have, feel where that pain is, where does it reside physically, mentally, energetically. You can almost say it's like a shamanic probe, right? Like shamanic evaluation. Just hit it on as many levels as you feel engaged with. If you're experiencing some discomfort, disease, some pain, just evaluate it on yourself. All right, there we go. I can find that centering. It's not something I normally talk through, but since you're here with me, I'm sharing my thoughts.
Spiraling into the center of the shield. I am the weaver, I am the woven one, I am the dreamer, I am the dream. I am the weaver, I am the woven one, I am the dreamer, I am the dream. Spiraling into the center of the shield. Spiraling into the center of the shield. I am the weaver, I am the woven one, I am the dreamer, I am the dream. I am the weaver, I am the woven one, I am the dreamer, I am the dream. Spiraling into the center of the shield. Spiraling into the center of the shield. I am the weaver, I am the woven
I am the dreamer, I am the dream. I am the weaver, I am the woman. I am the dreamer, I am the dream. Spiraling into the center of our shield. Spiraling into the center of our shield. I am the weaver, I am the woman, I am the dreamer, I am the dream. I am the weaver, I am the woman, I am the dreamer, I am the dream.
So I'm being asked to say that. So yesterday I feel like I described this real well with the breath. It's not to hold the breath at the top. What I'm focusing on is an active inhale, and at the top of the breath, at the most inhaled point, the fullest point, I'm not holding. It would be similar to a yawn, where you're almost kind of like gasping for more air, but there's none. Then let that go. But gasping from a fullness, right? When I say that word gasp, I hear the connotation. You're gasping really like you're full, so it's not a gasp. It's just trying to overfill, but not on purpose. So I'm not holding it at the top, is all I'm trying to say. It's almost like I'm blossoming the flower at the top. It's like, how do you know you're full? You can't fit any more, right? But you don't want to burst. Spiraling into the center of our shield. I am the weaver, I am the woman, I am the dreamer, I am the dream. I am the weaver, I am the woman, I am the dreamer, I am the dream. Spiraling into the center of our shield. Spiraling into the center of our shield. I am the weaver, I am the woman, I am the dreamer, I am the dream. I am the weaver, I am the woman, I am the dreamer, I am the Oh, y'all. All right, so that is where we begin the conclusion. And go ahead and terminate this chant. Looks like we ended with Beverly Frederick again, or ended with her. So I have to give a shout out to my family. I know some people, so I have family in the service industry that's been closed due to a bunch of the COVID issues, and they're doing a fundraiser. So they're making masks, and this was really great because it's fabric from Ghana. And that's definitely the ancestral roots, love the ancestors. They're the best. And your ancestors don't have to be biological. All the ancestors are out there. They're in the sun, in the light, in the rays from the sun. They're in the earth. They're in the air. So put those prayer flags out there and just know the ancestors are reading them. But back to the point. So they're making these masks and they're selling them for donations. So look for Nature's Course in Houston. I'm pretty sure that's the name of the salon. They do salon work. So my brother's into cutting hair. I don't know if beautician's the right word for it, but he's into servicing people's looks. And my stepmother does the same. So she owns a shop. And so I'm going to put this on so you can see. Nobody asked any questions today. Oh, yeah, you did. You asked, how do I get some of those masks, right? Well, I am here to tell you, you can get the mask at Nature's Course. All right, here we go. So yes, I am a model. Sashay. All right, so thank you. Try and be responsible neighbors and loving family members and friends. And we will see you, hopefully, before the world ends.